Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're most definitely welcome, and if you've been coming back for quite some time, thank you for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. A lot of you guys that follow me know that I've been on a TT journey, trying to conceive journey, and so I got pregnant, and I've lost my baby, so I had a miscarriage, and it's been really hard. And I guess just to pick up the camera and to do this was really hard. It's just really hard because you get so excited about wanting something so bad and wanting something, and then you get it, and then something like this happened. I mean, you know what? I've got to remember to be mindful and have some gratitude because I do have 3 beautiful, healthy kids, and I'm very lucky in a sense that I have never experienced a miscarriage. It's my first, but I still feel a sense of huge loss. I'm not going to lie about that. You feel, because you're prepared, you were preparing for something amazing to come into your life, and finding out and sharing your news with close people or with your partner, and then you're trying to keep it, like on the down low until later on when it's right to tell the world, and then this happens. It's hard. The last 4 days have been extremely difficult for me. Just knowing that it was coming, just having that idea of, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely be losing it, and you don't expect, I don't know, like I suppose I'd never really had a miscarriage, I'd never had a complicated pregnancy or something like that, so I can't say I understood where women were coming from previously, and I can't say I even indulge in wanting to know or learning about things like that until I went through what I went through, and then I started doing my research and came across a lot of women that have gone through what I've gone through, and there's a huge community online where you kind of feel like you belong because they've all gone through it, and they're sharing their, like it's like a nightmare, and you want to do something about it but you can't. It's one of those things that it's out of your control, so you just it's out of your control, and there's not much you can do about it, and you just oh god, you just gotta accept it, that it is what it is, and everything happened for a reason. And I know at times like this it's really hard to understand what sort of reason. You don't understand what sort of reason you're going through and why. I suppose you can't say why me because it happens to so many people, but unfortunately we are selfish as humans, and you always wonder why me. And so I spent the last 3 days just my daughter and I just kind of chilling and trying to accept things. I've spoken to a few friends either by a text and just briefly told them that, this pregnancy is not going to be a viable one. And then I kind of quickly followed with, I don't want to talk about it, or purposely ignoring calls. I don't have to deal with people. Anyway, leading up to the miscarriage, I don't know how to do this, but I'll probably take you guys back to just before I found out I was pregnant. So I just wanted to sit down today and have a chat to you guys about my TTC journey and what I've been going through. And I thought I wasn't really going to go and share this stuff immediately, but you know what, since I decided to obviously share a lot of my personal life on social media or on YouTube, I might as well just do this because it is part of the journey. July 29th was my menstrual cycle due date, and I tested, and I had a faint positive, but it was very faint. You cannot see it very well. And then 2 days later, around the 31st, I believe, no, the 30th, sorry, my menstrual cycle came. So then I just put it down to a chemical pregnancy, or maybe it was not even a pregnancy at all. Could have just been like the you know, when you get evaporation line, like it's a false indication. And then I kind of just forgot about it, and I said, oh, because the previous month I had really poured my heart and mind into it. I was testing, I was doing all my ovulation testing and a whole bunch of stuff, right? So this time I didn't want to go through that stress. I just wanted my body to do what's meant to do. But so we move into August, and around my period finished on the 3rd of August, and we did the baby dance on, wasn't hoping to get pregnant, but we were gonna try in September, but we had a baby dance on the 4th, yeah, right after my period, and the 5th, and then my partner went away. Some weird reason, one Friday on the 14th, I went, I'll put in the clip for you guys, but I went to the store to buy some stuff, household things, and I saw the pregnancy tests were on sale, so I grabbed myself the cheapies, and I came home. I was just about to get ready to go out for dinner, and I decided to do a test. I have no idea why in the hell I wanted to do that, because one, it would have been too soon. I had just literally ovulated 3 days before that, and two, I hadn't really been in sexually active anyway. So I went ahead and did it, and there was a really clear positive. And what's going on, but this is what I'm getting. I am not sure what's going on, but I've just, for some random reason, I decided to do a test, and I got this result. So wow, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like it's a positive. I don't even know what to say, because could I be pregnant? Am I pregnant? Oh my god, I have no idea. I swear to god, I have no idea, but that looks like, it looks like it's 2 line. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna get another test and see what happens. I'll keep you guys up to date. I was like, oh my god, this can't be right. Maybe there's something wrong with me. So I raced back to the store and I bought the digital one, and I came back and it says yes, positive, 2 to 3 weeks. And hey guys, this is just another test that I'm taking following the previous test. Just want to know roughly how many weeks I might be. I think you just get so excited, or just want reassurance, I guess. So yeah, says that I'm pregnant. 2 to 3 weeks. There you have it. We are 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. This was about 3 weeks ago. No, was it? No, 2.5 weeks ago today. So what I do, I was so excited, and I didn't want to tell my partner over the phone. I was going to wait for him to come back so I can do like a baby sort of like I'm pregnant sort of like reveal to him in person rather than over the phone. But things were a little bit harder in the, I guess, the coming days. Things were a little bit hard, him being away and everything, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to tell him. So I told him. He was very excited. I was excited. I was over the moon. I was so excited because I really wanted, I've been saying in my heart, I want to have twins, and I want to have a March, I want to have an April baby, or April, May baby sort of thing. And in my mind, I just feel like if you ask, you get, and things will happen according to what I want. Couldn't be more wrong. Anyhow, so on Friday, I forgot the dates, but I had a surgery. I think it was on the 23rd or something. I had a surgery. I had to go in for surgery. So I contacted the hospital and I said, look, I'm at my early stages of pregnancy, but I'm due for this surgery to check out my kidneys, making sure everything is fine in the back, because I've been having back issues. And they said, oh, it's fine. You can still have the surgery. It's a day thing. It doesn't, it's not complicated. They can still do with your pregnancy. I explained to the doctors what had happened before I went to the hospital, specifically detailing everything from when I sat down to the sounds that I heard and the pain and how the pain came on. For some reason, they were set in their way by saying, we think you might have a life-threatening condition that needs to be attended to immediately, or at least be eliminated from the list of things that are concerning us. And since you're pregnant women often present with blood clots in their liver sometimes, and it's very risky. It's very dangerous for you and for the unborn child, but most important, it's dangerous for you. So we have to do a CT scan. And as we all know, if you've ever tried for a baby, or if you've been pregnant in developed countries, you don't have CT scans when you're pregnant. You should not, unless it's really, really like a dire situation. So anyway, I went ahead and did the CT scan, and actually 2 days later, was a day I refused to do the CT scan. I said, look, let's just wait it out. It could just be a muscular injury. I don't think it's anything. I'll just suck it up and I'll take some Panadine forward. So I started taking some Panadine forward, and I waited. The next day they came and consulted with me, and I was like, no, not yet. But then the pain was just getting worse and worse, and I started thinking, oh my God. I called a friend and I said, what do I do? And it was kind of like, I felt like a letdown, because I got a response that I wasn't expecting, considering everything I have with this friend. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So then I called another friend and I said, look, I'm in this dilemma. I don't know, like, it's really hard. I know it's my decision, but these are my pros and cons. Like, this other friend was willing to listen to the thing that we could actually talk about and put it on the table, like, oh, this is what they're saying, what should I do? And my friend was like, you know what, you've got 3 kids that you need to look after. That is the priority in your life right now. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm just saying you've got 3 kids, so focused on that. So straight away I thought, okay, right, I know what to do. So anyway, I went back to the hospital, and in pain, severe pain, excruciating pain on my lower back, kind of like on my shoulder blade and under my breast. So they did the TC scan, and it came back, thankfully, it came back negative to blood clots, and I was healthy. They just said, look, it's a deeper tissue. You torn a tissue around your rib cartilage. It's very deep. That's why we could not actually, when we pressed it, that's why you were not feeling the pain, but you were feeling the pain when you breathe. So I said, okay, kind of knew that anyway, felt it, but I was caught between a rock and a hard place. I had to make a decision. Anyway, so I went back home, and everything was all good. And on the 25th, yeah, I started cramping, light cramp, but nothing major. And then in the afternoon, like in the evening around 6:30, I started spotting. And I was a bit concerned, because obviously early pregnancy, you're not supposed to be spotting. So I was spotting a little, and wiped, and I noticed, like a yellowish TMI. This is too much information for you. You can exit, obviously. It's a video about trying to conceive, and I'm just trying to be raw and honest. Anyway, testing, wiped down there, and there was a bit of like a blood, like a pinkish color, with like, just, it didn't seem right, because I've been pregnant 3 times and I never bled during my pregnancy. And then in the night, it kind of got a bit more, like, it was not enough to feel a pad, but there was enough there. And so I was heartbroken immediately, just like, oh my God, what's going on? But then I've been reading a lot and doing a lot of research about things that can happen when you're pregnant. even though I naively never wanted to look at I know that they can happen. Like, I know that miscarriages will happen. I know that some women will have these really complicated pregnancies, but I never put myself in that category. I removed myself subconsciously from that category, and I wanted to be in that successful sort of story. Like, it's a baby that I want, and I'm gonna get my baby. It's gonna be a healthy baby, and that's the mindset I had. So anyway, I was avoiding all these other videos. Like, I'll see things pop up, miscarriages, early miscarriages, whatever. I'm like, yeah, nah, that's not me. Kept going on about the babies, picking baby's name and all this kind of stuff. Like, it was really exciting. I was, like, I have a culture where I pick a Sudanese and a English name for my kids. So I was picking out names. In fact, I was actually picking out 2 names for each child, because in my mind, I'm gonna have twins, and I know deep in my heart I will have twins, and they will come naturally. But anyway, so all this excitement and everything, and when this spotting started happening, it just really hit me really hard. But I didn't want to believe anything else. Just like, you know what, it could just be the spotting, I'll be fine. There's women that go through it and they still have healthy, viable pregnancies. So I went back to the hospital, and they did some more blood tests, and my blood test indicated that my HCG levels were dropping from 157 to like 99, and that was not a great indication, because normally when your HCG hormones drop, it means that you might be heading towards a miscarriage, or you could be having an ectopic pregnancy and stuff like that. And at the hospital, they had to do an internal ultrasound, and when they did that, they couldn't find a sac or yolk or anything in there. They could not see anything. But on my fallopian tube, they saw a something on it, and they're not sure what it is. So they just said, we're not sure, it's too early, but we think you might be having an ectopic pregnancy, and maybe that's why you're bleeding, because your body's trying to get rid of it. Or or it's too early, since you don't really have the proper dates. Could be too early, and you might have a viable pregnancy, but we just have to wait and see. So then I was sent home with, that just wait and see sort of thing. Like, oh, am I losing my baby? Am I not losing my baby? And you start to go through all sorts of different thoughts. And I'll tell you what, I cried the whole night. I wasn't crying because I was just crying because I wasn't sure what was coming, and I just didn't want the worst, but I wanted to be prepared for the worst. So then I called my partner, and I told him that, hey babe, we have a problem. We might be losing our baby. I might be having a miscarriage, an early miscarriage. And he was devastated, and he was already sick with the flu and all sorts of stuff. So it was just like really hard on him and on me. And I think I just became a little bit on edge, and a bit maybe not very nice, just really bitchy, I guess. Like, just, where are you, why are you not here, sort of thing. You're away and I'm going through this by myself, sort of thing. So I felt a bit emotionally and psychologically let down. But I kind of, if this didn't happen, that wouldn't be a problem, but I just felt like that in that given moment. So, but I still had hope, so I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and I was like, you know what, sometimes you are given things for a reason, and things are taken away from you for a reason. So maybe my pregnancy that was given to me was here to teach me a life lesson that I still don't understand. And anyway, so I just waited and waited, prayed and prayed to God. I called a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, and I said, look, I just want you and I to pray together, because I'm really feeling down. I can't sleep. I'm having insomnia. I'm thinking about this a lot, and I know that maybe it's too soon for me to assume things, but I'm just worried. And when you go on YouTube and you start watching people that have similar stories to you, and then there's so many, and you find that you hours and hours later you're still watching or listening to videos just to find the success stories that actually make you feel like, you know what, maybe mine's going to be a success story. I was looking for them sort of videos, so I just went on I just went on a binging mode, and I was just watching everything I could find. Some of it helped, some of it kind of gave me hope and restored some sort of confidence that, oh, you know what, it's not too bad, things might actually change. So I prayed for better results, and then I went in for my blood works today and Friday. I think today's the 26th, I could be wrong, Friday. So I went in for my blood test today, and they did my blood test. And when I went in, I just went into the maternity and collected some paperwork that they'd previously prepared for me, and I said I just need to pick them up because I've got to do this. And mind you, I've kind of been doing it alone. So it's just me and my daughter, by the way. So it's been really hard because every single time I cry, poor Skylar's been crying with me. I think on 3 occasions when I went to the hospital, she was with me the entire time. So she's been listening to what the doctors are saying and what I was saying, and she's been prepared for the babies, which I think is one of the biggest mistakes I made, to actually talk or even mention the word baby around her before knowing what could happen. But like I said, I don't think anybody gets pregnant and say, hey, I might lose my baby. You don't know. So you get excited and you tell your kid, I didn't tell my older boys, but I told my daughter because she's here with me. She saw me when I was like, oh my God, it's a positive. So when we went to the hospital today, and Skylar goes, oh, are we going to the toilet to get the babies? And I'm like, what toilet? But then I remembered the last time when I went to the hospital before today, the day before, I had to go to the bathroom, and she had to come with me everywhere I go, and just like stayed there, Skylar. So she must have, and then I started crying in the toilet, and she's like, what's wrong? And I said, oh, we're not gonna have babies anymore. So she thought something like that. So she's like, oh, we can go to the hospital, get the babies from the bathroom. What the hell? I was like, no. My blood work done, and she was asking me, are the babies coming home with us? What are we doing? And I said, no, the babies are not coming home, but let's just pray and hope that the HCG levels will be different on this testing. And so when we came back home, and I started crying again. I don't know, I just feel like it's really hard, okay? Like, I've cried my eyes out. So I came back, and I sat there. I was kind of like trying to distract myself, so I started working on so many different wigs. I don't know if you can see them, it's a huge mess out there. I was just working on some of my wigs, just doing something to not focus or to think about things, because I'm home alone, and it's emotionally really hard. So then I called I contacted the nurse, and I said, oh, I'm just calling to see if my blood tests have been analyzed yet, and to get my reading. And she said, yes, honey, got your blood. And she just said, yes, honey. Like, that gave me a bit of hope. Like, I was just like, yeah. She was just like, yes, honey. She's enthusiastic. She's like, is it dang? And I said, yeah. She's like, yeah, I've got your results, and your blood levels have dropped from 99 to they've dropped from 99 to 69, and so we're just gonna wait until it's done. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, oh, well, it's definitely a miscarriage, and it just simply means that we just have to wait until your body can do what it's supposed to do, and when it's done, you will when it's done, your hormones would start to regulate, and it would go back to normal. Like, you just feel okay, and if you want to try, you can try again the next month or so when your hormones have dropped back. So it's just a matter of time. So that's why I gave you an extra blood test form, because I want you to do another one next Friday. And do it next Friday and come in, and then that would just give us an indication that there's nothing, so we don't have to give you any medication to clean anything out, or because your body's going to do its own thing. And the doctors were speculating that it could be ectopic pregnancy because of what they saw in your fallopian tube, but it's not. We don't think it's ectopic anymore. We just think it's a miscarriage. And I just thought, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, you'll be fine, darling. Just don't feel bad, don't feel guilty. Just look after yourself, and good luck. It was really hard, because I think it was extremely hard for me, because I had really, like I said earlier, you get excited. I don't think anybody who gets pregnant think, oh, something bad is going to happen to my baby, or it's going to happen to me. You know, like when you watch things on TV, or you see things on on YouTube, and you hear stories, you just think, oh, that's so sad, but you never ever could relate it to you. You could never, I don't know if it's just me, but I never relate things to me. It could happen to me. I just think, oh, it's unfortunate that it happened to that person, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? But so it happened to me, and so I started crying, and it was really hard. It was so hard, because you try and be strong, right? But you also know there's a lot, you know that there is a loss, even though you didn't really get to know your baby well. That little, you know, that 5 weeks that you were preparing mentally was filled with excitement and a lot of joyous moments where you're talking to your partner, like we were talking about an extension of our place, or we're talking about moving to a bigger place. We're talking about, you know, like I said before, talking about names and all that kind of stuff. And then this happened, and you're like, oh, oops. There's no baby anymore, so we just gotta have to try again. Anyway, moving forward, I think there is no issue in trying to conceive after having a miscarriage, because you can still try, and you can still have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby after having a miscarriage. Definitely, there's been a lot of studies, and just because you've had a miscarriage once doesn't mean you can't. And mind you, like, I mean, when I went online the night before, just before when I did my HCG test for the second time, I was just looking at people and what they've gone through, and I thought I was very lucky, because I've got 3 healthy kids, and there's people that have been trying for 10 years and can't get pregnant, or if they get pregnant they have a miscarriage. There's people that have had more than 10 miscarriages or 6 miscarriages. So it's not like, I just thought, oh, maybe I'm being selfish, maybe I'm being selfish. But then part of me feels like it's my right as well, because it doesn't matter how long I was pregnant for, you still feel like it's a loss, and it's hard. So that really broke me, and I just know, because I was, you know, like, we're talking about potential dates when I was going to be due, and all sorts of stuff, and so hard. And now I found myself in a predicament, having to really explain to Skylar in the nicest possible way that, hey darling, the babies are gonna come, but just not this time. It's not possible. It's so hard, because she is got it in her head, and every time she eats something, she'll bring something for me. Oh, this is not for you, it's for the babies, sort of thing. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do this video and share with you how I've been feeling. And so I haven't really been in the mood for shooting anything, and I didn't want to do anything, and I wanted to be really strong, but you are not in control of how you feel. Sometimes you've got to let your emotions out. And so for me, like I said, there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I'm healthy, and I'm grateful that I've got 3 kids, and I'm grateful that I even got pregnant from the first go, and I can always get pregnant again, I guess. I'm gonna stop recording, and if you've watched this far, thank you. And yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date with what goes on, and I'll start doing my when I'm feeling a bit better, I'll start doing my other stuff that I like to do and share with you guys. Anyone out there who is who's TTCing and who's had a miscarriage, I don't know how quickly the pain goes away. I don't know how you I don't think you can forget, because I don't know how you move on from it, but I'm sure there's a way. For me, I'm just gonna try and have a positive mindset and just understand that it's out of my control, and the universe gives and he takes, and he had decided to give me a pregnancy that wasn't going to be a viable one, and he decided that it wasn't time. Literally, like, if I had to look at it from a perspective angle, there could be something that I'm being saved from that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't have miscarriages for no reason. They happen for a reason, and sometimes you don't. Like right now, I'm not really understanding it, but I know deep in my heart there will come a point in time where I'll be like, oh yeah, I get why that happened. There could have been this that was being prevented from me getting through, so I had to go through that pain to save me from a worse pain or something like that. I know that. So guys, thank you again for listening to my story. You do your thing, you know what to do, and I will see you guys very soon with hopefully a much happier topic to talk about.